On this edition of Dumb Negroes United, it really actually could go into a category if I wanted to create one called Trash Negroes United, because what this guy did right here, he is more than deserving of getting whatever he is going to get when he gets behind bars. So in this picture, you see someone by the name of Taurence Callagain. He is 36 years old, and he has just been convicted of a very violent rape. Now, let me give you the backstory behind this. All of this happened back in 2015, and he's just now getting convicted of the crime that I just told you. So basically what happened is you have this guy who was it happened in Atlanta. He was a guy who was a commuter train operator, and he ended up befriending this woman who just one day happened to get onto his train. Well, it turns out this woman was a lesbian, or is a lesbian. So what he did and decided to do was to pretend to be a homosexual man in order to befriend this woman. So now we're getting a little bit deeper into the story. So he pretended to be a gay man befriending a lesbian woman so he could make her believe it was a platonic relationship, basically nothing more than them just being friends, because he has a feeling that if he came off as him being himself as a heterosexual man, she would have no type of relationship with him, even on a friendship level. So he pretended to be a gay man, a part of the Alphabet Academy, and then one day she ended up missing a connecting train or something to that effect, and he offered to give her a ride home. Well, they ended up at home, but not at her home. He ended up taking her back to his place, where he basically was saying that, you know, if you needed some assistance or anyone to call or anything like that, you can use this and everything like that. That was to lure her in. And then that's when the rape actually occurred. And they said that he violently raped her, which means he probably could have, you know, ruined some of her insides, if you get what I mean, you know, because of the friction. And it's crazy because when I think about this woman and her being raped and her being a lesbian, I said he could have brought out something traumatic that happened to her in her childhood, or maybe something that happened to her in her life that maybe led her to wanting to be a lesbian. You know, we've always said when it comes to the Alphabet Academy, a lot of the times the reason why a lot of them lean towards being in that not organization, but live that lifestyle, is because of abuse that they face sexually from maybe a family member when they were young. Maybe they were molested, or maybe someone had raped them when they were a little bit older. And that could have happened to her. And that's what made her decide that she didn't want to be with men and be with women, because she probably felt more comfort from a woman. And if indeed she did get molested as a child, or maybe raped in her later years, that could have opened up more wounds for her after this incident. Now, the woman, of course, is anonymous. We don't know who she is. And it's probably best that we don't. And she probably chose to keep herself and remain anonymous. But now, fast forwarding to now, this man has just been found guilty and convicted of violent rape of this woman. As of right now, they don't know what his sentencing is going to be, but you can best believe they are going to throw the entire bookshelf at his ass. And most definitely so, because this man befriended a woman under false pretenses. He lied to her to get with her, and he knew he had no chance in hell of being with her because she was not interested in the male anatomy. So he pretended to be someone he was not in order to get, I don't want to sound so vulgar because of the type of story it is, but y'all get where I'm going, to get his needs met, if you want to put it that way. And his urges took over him that day. And he just decided he wanted to act on those urges. And it turns out that he just ended up violently raping this woman. When they said violent, when I first read, they said that he violently raped her. I'm thinking that he probably damn near killed her. But when you think of violent rape, it's not just forced penetration to the point where it's so much friction that it hurts and is not pleasurable for her. But also you could think that this guy probably slapped her around and tossed her all over the place and probably, caused her to get bruises and everything on other parts of her body. He could have physically assaulted her at the same time. He probably could have hit her with an object. He could have maybe knocked her out and then raped her while she was damn near unconscious. So you got to really think and take all of that into consideration for what he did. But like I said, this guy is grade A trash for real. And like I said, it's crazy. This happened 5 years ago. I'm looking at the article thinking that this is something that happened maybe last year or maybe in the last 2 years, but it happened back in 2015. And you gotta think, this guy risked his job. He risked his job working for the city to do what he did. And it makes you wonder as well if he has tried this with other women. Because like I said, when it comes to something like this, they're always going to dig into the past to see if he maybe have done this to other women. But this guy, like I said, had a serious hard on, no pun intended, for this woman. And when he knew he couldn't have a chance with her, he lied to her and took extreme advantage of her. He took advantage of her in multiple ways, not just in a physical way, but he took advantage of this woman's trust because she actually believed that this man was a part of that lifestyle and that was going to be her friend. So it's like a lot of things that play into that right there. So now not only is she probably even more fearful of men, but now she doesn't even know if she can trust another man again, even if that's a gay man. Because this man came off to her as a person who was a part of the Alphabet Academy. So, yeah, this guy definitely goes under the category of Dumb Negroes United, but he's definitely a trash ass, quote unquote, human being for what he did. At the end of the day, no matter what her lifestyle may be, he still raped this woman under false pretenses and lied to her to get in her pants. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.